This prison story is about when I heard a man get RAPE'd in prison. Now, I'm going to say I can't exactly remember what day it was, but I know I was on my fourth day. I don't know, was it I believe it was a Saturday, or maybe it could have been a Sunday. I'm not 100% sure because it was so long ago. But anyway, so I get this cellmate, right? This new young black dude. Dude had to be about 19 years old, right? So they end up putting him in my cell. So he come in there and he, got all this stuff on the desk. And I'm just letting them know the house rules, like, make your bed up in the morning. We're going to keep this cell clean. Don't have no visitors in here. If you going to be talking to cats, talk to them outside the cell, because if something is missing, you going to be here responsible for that or not, right? So we just chopping it up or whatever. And I noticed that he got these Air Force Ones and they black, right? So at this time in prison, you could have certain shoes, you know what I'm saying? And one of the items was Air Force Ones and Jordans and Timberland boots that was really sought after, right? People really paid top dollar for them shoes, right? Now, but the thing about having them type of shoes of like everything in prison, if you got it and people want it, they gonna try to get at it, right? And you better know how to fight, or you better, you know what I'm saying? You better be able to hold it and keep it, right? So me knowing that this dude first time doing time, I told him like, hey, you should let me hold them shoes. And he was like, hey man, I don't know what you trying to say. No. I'm not trying to run game on you. I'm not trying to punk you or nothing, but there's some nice shoes, and dudes gonna try to get at you for them shoes or whatever. So he was like, nah, man, I'm good. I got this. I'm a man. I can hold myself down. I said, all right, just saying. So I told him, look, every Thursday we get to go to the store. They come around Tuesday and Wednesday or whatever, and they give us this card thing, and you just fill it out, and you can only get 60 items off of the commissary or whatever. So I said, make sure you have that turned in by Thursday morning, or you're gonna have to wait till next week or whatever. So I'm just lacing them up, just giving him the game or whatever, right? So he said, all right, I'm finna go see what's up. So he puts on the shoes, the Air Force Ones, and he leave out, right? About 10 minutes go by, and I hear this dude named Tree. Now, Tree was this dude from Alabama, right? And Tree was like maybe 6'8", 6'9", right? Real tall dude, right? Dude had some weight on him too. He probably weighed maybe about, I don't know, maybe 230-ish, maybe 225. But he was really tall, right? And he played basketball. Now, in prison, basketball is a pastime, man. There's dudes that's all they do, man. They work out, eat, and play basketball. That's it. And Tree was one of these type of guys, right? So I hear Tree, he's talking to him, and he like, man, what's up? I guess they were from the same city or whatever, and they knew either they knew of each other or they knew each other. It wasn't all the way clear to me exactly their relationship, but they knew each other, right? So I hear Tree talking loud like, hey man, yeah, bro, man, hey, you should get moved to my cell. You get moved to my cell, right? And Tree like, who you selling with, man? And he was like, this dude named Donta. He was like, oh yeah, Donta, yeah, that's my dude, man. He cool. He real cool, but man, you should try to get in my cell. So they go to, now I don't care. I'd rather have no cellmate, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't get no type of alone time, no type of privacy at all in prison. But when you got to cell by yourself, too, that's gravy, right? So I'm not objected to that. I don't care. Let them go. Right, so they go to the control booth and they talk to the guard to do a cell swap, and the guard like, nah, nah, this ain't Burger King. Y'all just can't have y'all way. Is it a problem in the cell? Is it an issue? He like, no, man, this is my homeboy, and we just trying to sell up together. So he like, the girl like, nah, that's out. That ain't happening. So they like, all right, whatever. So they come to my cell, right? So I knew Tree, but he wasn't my friend. He wasn't even an associate. I just knew him in passing. We didn't have no problems. We didn't have no issues, right? So, but still, he can't just come in my cell, right? I don't care if this dude know you or whatever, but it's just respect, right? So Tree, he knows the prison rules, so he stopped right there to say, he like, hey, what's up, Dante? I said, what's up, Tree? He like, not much. Then he like, hey man, Lavelle, you hey, what size shoes is them that you got right there? And he was like, oh man, these are size 9. He like, them are size 9? He like, yeah. He was like, oh man, I wear size 11. He said, oh, you do? He said, yeah. He like, hey, man, hey, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, bro, but you think I could wear them? I want to go play basketball right quick. And them boys is nice. Now, when he said that, the first thing I thought was that, hold up, you wear a size 11. This dude that's told you that these are size 9. Why would you? Okay, whatever. But hey, it ain't my business. So he was like, let me think about it. I'll think about it. Right? And then Tree was like, all right, I'm going to be back in a minute. So when Tree walked off, I said, hey, he said he wears size 11, man. Why? He said, yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I said, okay, I'll make sure I wasn't tripping. So he was like, hey, Dante, let me ask you a question, man. Do you know Tree? Like, know him? I said, I only known him for about 8 or 9 months, but I guess he cool or whatever. I said, why? He said, well, I did know of him in the streets, like we here from the same city or whatever, but the way that he been approaching me and talking to me is like we just been long lost buddies or whatever. Like, how is he up in here? And I said, I don't know. I ain't never really paid it. He just played basketball. That's really it. I don't really see him getting into it with people, and I don't know. If you asking for me to vouch for him, no, I don't vouch for nobody. But at the same time, I don't really know him like that. Like I said, he just played basketball or whatever. He was like, hey, you think I should let him, wear my shoes? I said, what? He said, yeah. He asked me, could he wear the shoes? And he actually asked me before we came in the cell, but I thought he was playing, but now he asked again. So I said, them your shoes. I can't tell you what to do. So literally when I said I can't tell you what to do, when D.O. left my mouth, Tree pops right back up. He like, hey, bro, hey, Lavelle, let me get the shoes. Let me get the shoes right quick. Let me, I'll bring them right back. So Lavelle looking at me like, and I'm looking at him like, what? So he just take the shoes off and hand them to him. So Tree like, I bet. And he walks off. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, you got any more shoes? He said, yeah, I got some more shoes in here, man. I got some Reeboks in here. I said, all right. And then I just walked out the cell, right? About 20 minutes to go by, right? And I'm out on the yard. I'm waiting my turn to get on the iron pile, right? And I see Tree over there hooping. And when I say he hooping, Tree is over there hooping. And he got these shoes on. And the way, have y'all ever seen like somebody that was wearing too small shoes and the shoes look fat? You know what I mean? Like the shoes look big and fat and swole. I don't know how he squeezed his feet in them shoes. I don't understand how he was playing in them shoes. But Tree was like really out there doing this thing in them shoes, right? And he was busting them out. And all I'm thinking is, man, dude gotta have his feet balled up in them shoes. He got to, man. He got to, man. So about 3 minutes later, here come Lavelle. Lavelle walked up to me and he like, hey Donta, you got anybody gonna spot you? I said, yeah, I got a couple cats that spot me here. Like, hey, but I need to talk to you right quick, man. I said, what's up? He said, hey, you when you think I should get my shoes back? I said, get them back, I guess, after the game or whatever. I don't know. He was like, yeah, man, I don't think I should have gave him those shoes because he dogging my shoes out, bro. I said, all right, well, you got to take care of that, man. I don't know. So I see this guy walk past. I didn't know who this dude was. He walked past and he's eating a bag of hot Cheetos. And he like, hey, bro, I got you. I got you tomorrow. I got you tomorrow on stove day. Right? So I said, hey, what was that about? And he was like, oh, this dude walked up to me and asked, he seen me unpacking my commissary. He asking he get a bag of chips or whatever. And I gave it to him. He said he gonna get me tomorrow. I said, hey, look, let me give you some words of wisdom right quick. Don't get nobody else nothing, man. Don't. He like, why? He said he's gonna hook me up tomorrow. I said, do you know that guy? He was like, no, he just, I thought I was gonna be nice about it. I said, hold up. Let me tell you something. It ain't nothing. You can't be nice in here. You end up being nice in here will get you killed. Being nice in here will get you put in a predicament where you don't want to be put in. It'll get you in situations that, hey, next time somebody asks you for something, the answer is no, right? So he was like, oh, all right, man, all right. So he just walks off. And I'm like, man, I don't think this gonna work out. This dude because listen, y'all, I already laced this dude up. I already told him, and lacing a dude up is just dropping penitentiary knowledge to him, letting him know the do's and the don'ts. And obviously it ain't clicking in his head, right? So I'm telling myself like, nah, this ain't gonna work, man, because dude just giving things away. Dude is real gullible. He done gave Tree, he let him use his shoes, and he just dogging him out, right? So I ended up going back in the building and I laid down, right? So I wake up because I hear conversation outside the cell, where there's 3 guys right there and they talking to Lavelle. And I'm hearing the conversation. And they done walked off, and I come to understand that he done gave these cats 4 packs of ramen noodles, and they telling him, yo, we gonna give you 2 packs tomorrow. It's stove day, right? Let's just fast forward. Let's just fast forward, right? It's store day. He's sitting there. Dudes just walking past the cell. Some cats coming to the cell to give me was old. But everybody that he gave something to, they ain't coming. They ain't giving him nothing at all, right? So I said, hey, ain't nobody gave you your stuff? He's like, oh no, some people came to me and said they got me next week. And I went for another guy, but he said he gonna holler at me later or whatever. I said, hey, look, man, them dudes ain't gonna pay you, man. They not gonna pay you. And he was like, well, what you mean they gonna pay me? I said, listen, they was running game on you. He was like, what? Why? I said, because you remember when I told you stop giving people stuff for free, stop being friendly? Yeah. I said, well, that's just happened. That's what they do. And don't be surprised they're going to keep coming asking for stuff until you do something about it. I said, you going to have to. I said, hold on right quick. So I went to my locker and I grabbed these socks, this pair of socks, right? And I put 2 batteries in it, right? Them big D batteries. I said, here. He said, what's this for? I said, whoever owe you something right now, go out there and go bust their head open with this sock. He was like, no, man, I ain't about to do that, man. I ain't about to do that. I only got 2 years, man. No, I can. What if I take their life? I said, it don't matter, man. Either you take this take this sock with these batteries in it and go bust somebody's head to let people know that, hey, if you owe me, pay me, or this was gonna happen. He was like, man, Dante, you tripping, bro, you tripping. I said, all right, you gonna see, right? So here come Tree walking past, right? And he got the shoes, like, he walking in these shoes, and you could tell he done busted these things. The stitching coming apart, the shoes just look beat, right? So Lavelle like, hey, Tree, what's up, bro? And Tree like, what's up, man? He was like, hey, you didn't get my shoes back? And he was like, oh, well, I thought you said I could hoop in them, right? He was like, yeah, I said you could hoop. He said, yeah, so what's the issue? So Lavelle like, what you mean what's the issue? Tree was like, I asked you, can I hoop in these shoes? And you said, yeah, I'm not done hooping. So Lavelle's sitting there, and he like, I don't get it, Tree. Like, can I get the shoes back? He said, no, you can't get the shoes back. You told me I can have these shoes to hoop in them. So what? So when he said that, Lavelle was like, no, I didn't say that. So he was like, oh, so you called me a liar then? You said I'm a liar? And then he just walked off. So then he turned around to me and was like, hey, Dante, that's some bull. I said, hey, man, I don't want to hear it, man. Here's the sock. Go handle your business. He like, man, bruh, man, he think I'm soft, man. He think I'm soft. I said, here's the sock. Go handle your business. So he was like, man, I ain't trying to get no more time. I said, well, I ain't trying to hear it. I said, you know what, matter of fact, nah, you gonna have to go, homeboy. You gonna have to go. He was like, what you mean I'm gonna have to go? I said, because you soft, man. You soft and you hard-headed. Nah, man, you got to go, man. He's like, man, Dante, man, what's the problem? I said, first of all, you need to lower your voice, because you ain't finna buck on me when you should have been bucking on Tree and these other cats in here that owe you something, right? So he was like, man, this is just stupid, man. Why won't he give me my shoes back? I said, listen, what you got going on is beyond me. It ain't my business. You gotta go. You gotta get out of here, right? So next thing you know, he leaves out the cell, right? And I noticed that the sock isn't there. So I'm like, wait, I guess he finna go out there, go handle his business, right? So I look out the cell, and he's talking to one of the guys that owe him, right? So next thing you know, I see he'll pull out the sock, and the dude was like, what you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that? And, Lavelle was like, man, hey, I don't want to use it, but man, you need to get my stuff. And dude just punched him right in the mouth. Punched Lavelle right in the mouth. And Lavelle dropped the sock with the batteries in it and took off running back to the cell. And I blocked him. I said, no, you ain't coming in here, man. He said, no, man, move. Watch out, man. Watch out. I said, no, you ain't coming in here. And I pushed him real hard, pushed him really hard. And he fell on the ground. And I said, no, you is not coming in the cell. Matter of fact, I got you. So I started getting all this stuff, and I rolled it up on his bed, and I threw it right out there on the tier. And I said, you got to go, right? So he ended up going to the control booth and telling the guard what happened. The guard come up there, hey, Dante, what's going on? I said, man, he can't be in here, man. He doing too much, man. He finna cause a lot of drama and a lot of issues. Y'all know I don't give y'all no problems. I don't give y'all no issues at all. But this dude finna cause a major issue up in this cell, man. So they like, all right, look, we'll move him, but don't touch him. I said, I ain't touch him. So He's sitting there in the day room, and dudes that's walking past him, laughing, saying crazy stuff to him, and stuff like that. So now they end up putting him in the cell 3 doors down from me, which is Tree cell, right? Now, I don't know why they put him in there. I don't know if him and Tree had another conversation in between me throwing his stuff out. I don't know. I don't know if Tree came up to him and said, hey, man, listen, I got you. We from the same city. My bad on the shoot. I don't know what Tree said to this dude to convince him to get in the cell with him, right? But he ended up getting in the cell with him. Now, here's the thing, y'all. I never known for Tree to be a homosexual. I never known for Tree to indulge in them type of activities. I can only go off of what I heard the following night, right? Later on that night. Now, here I go. I'm laying down. It's what? About 2 something in the morning. How I know it's 2 something in the morning? Because around 2 o'clock, the guard that be on shift, they leave out and go take a smoke break, and they leave out the dormitory. So this is how I know it's around 2 o'clock. Now, what I heard next, I'm not going to go into detail, but all I heard was somebody said, man, shut up, man, shut up. Then I heard whimpering, and then I heard something that no man, no straight man should ever hear coming from another man. And we gonna leave it at that.